Bring in our first guest. It is Texas Congressman Michael Cloud, a member of the House Oversight and Appropriations Committees, and was front row for all the DOGE subcommittee action. We'll get to that. Congressman Cloud, always good to have you with us, sir.
Well, thanks. Good to be with you.
So
yeah, it's been a monumental week for sure.
It has, and today a big one. We just heard Brooke Rollins confirmed RFK Jr. What an upgrade for Health and Human Services, I think, into what we had with Rachel Levine here and the confusion that they were trying to sow with Americans. Your reaction to that, but specifically to Senator Mitch McConnell, the only Republican against him, and he also was a no against Tulsi yesterday, sir.
Yeah, that's concerning, but thankfully we have the votes to get these extraordinary nominees through, and this is exactly what the American people voted for. They did not want status quo, and so you have some senators who are still trying to embrace status quo, hold on to yesteryear for whatever reason. It's been highly ineffective. And if you think of the nominees that they were supporting last time, you mentioned Rachel Levine, but we had Mayorkas, who left the border open and literally trafficked children into the country and lost a couple 100,000 of them. You know, this is the kind of people they supported. Now we have nominees who are coming in who are going to right the ship in these agencies that have gone rogue. And it's awesome to see that their focus is going to be serving the American people instead of being a tremendous weight upon them.
You know, when we hear Democrats saying, oh, it's going to be a free-for-all, Kash Patel obviously will be a game changer as well, and there will be a full vote. It's now TBD on when that happens, Congressman. But Kash Patel, do you think he will also be confirmed, which in a way would be wonderful because we see what Pam Bondi has already done and the action she's made at the DOJ, another layer, because he would report to her. And so many Americans have such a distrust in our federal government right now.
Right. And this is exactly what this is about, regaining the trust of the American people. I do think Kash will be confirmed, and he will do an awesome job at it. You know, he's not only uncovered the massive corruption within our intelligence agencies, he was a target of them. He knows that they're supposed to be serving the American people. Our whole government is supposed to be serving the American people. Instead, so many of these agencies and the bureaucracy around this city thinks that the American people exist to serve them and to keep them afloat and to keep their agency going. And that's not how this is supposed to work.
All right. So how's it going to work today? Because there's these reports. Speaker Johnson will be moving the budget resolution, advancing it out today. We're still not sure if some folks like Chip Roy or Ralph Norman will be on board with this. I'll play a little bit of what Speaker Johnson said, because he did say he expects it to pass unanimously. And here's a little bit more of his comments.
We have a $36 trillion federal debt, and we have got to get a hold of these things. You're going to see it reflected in the reconciliation package that comes forward. You're going to see it reflected in appropriations as we go forward, and you're going to see it in these efforts to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. And we think the final number on that is going to be substantial and a game changer.
All right, Speaker Johnson, obviously in a tough position here. You know, we've got to make some deals. Do you think Roy and Norman will come on board because they want bigger slashes to spending, Congressman Cloud?
Well, I'll just say it's not just those two. It's a number of conservatives that were concerned. There's really two things we have to do to get our economy working again. We have to grow our economy, but we also have to shrink the government spending. We're headed toward a fiscal cliff. And President Trump's going to do some great things to get the economy going, but we've got to rein in the government spending as well. So my understanding is that there'll be an amendment today that will strengthen the ability to both provide the savings for the American people, but also give some room on the tax structure. And this is what we've been supporting. We wanted some more room for President Trump to get more of initiatives done on the tax side of things, while we also maintain the other side of that balance sheet and make sure we rein in government spending. We have to do both. It can't be one or the other. We have to get both done. And so I think that's going to pass in committee today, and then should move throughout the committee today and get our committees working to make sure we get this reconciliation package done.
All right. Well, yeah, he campaigned on a lot of things, and those extension of the Trump tax cuts would be wonderful. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Wow, you must have been entertained by the Democrat meltdowns yesterday. Let's play a little bit of what we saw as they targeted Elon Musk for the work he's doing at DOGE.
talk about people invading our data. Listen, people said that they were upset about TikTok, but I'm upset about the guy that runs Twitter, who for sure is doing nefarious things. So let me tell you something.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
And it is time for
the
us
gentlelady's
to do our
time has
job
expired.
and rein in this rogue actor known
The gentlelady's time has expired.
While we're sitting here, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are recklessly and illegally dismantling the federal government.
This, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. And we know that he is leading a power grab also abided by and encouraged by Donald Trump and, of course, the chairwoman, Congresswoman Green.
Of course, they know it all, but Joe Rogan really had a great counter reaction. I'll play this, and then you can sum up what it was like sitting there with all this. Here's Rogan on what's really going on and why the echo chamber in Washington is so tone deaf.
This other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. He's going to find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this.
But if you're a Democrat, that's not how you're looking at it. Final thoughts, Congressman?
No, they are very upset that someone has moved their government cheese, and so they are working everything they can to protect this scheme that they've set up, where your tax dollars are going to undergird and fund their priorities in nefarious ways, and it's to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars and potentially $1 trillion of waste, fraud, abuse, mismanagement that we have the potential uncovering here in the next several months. And ironically, the Dems are protecting that instead of going against it. You know, most people are looking at Elon and saying, look, he went and built rockets cheaper than anybody. He took over Twitter and got rid of 75% of the workforce and has a better product for it. That's what we want in our government. We want a government that's going to be better with less of our tax dollars. But instead, they're protecting the old regime of waste, fraud, and abuse. It's mind-boggling.
It is, and if that was just the first subcommittee hearing, I can't wait for the tantrums from the left on the second. Texas Congressman Michael Cloud, always great to have you, sir. Thank you. A lot of action on the Hill. We'll be watching those spending bills as well advancing from the House today. Thank you, sir. And right now we want to talk about a serious incident that happened in Germany, rocked by another car attack with an asylum seeker from the Middle East. It happened in Munich, of course, a very important spot as world leaders are descending on that city.